Oh my god, it's so cold. Hmm. Hello. Okay. How are you guys? Long time no see. Oh, so happy to do this live thing. It's freezing cold in my room right now. That's why I look like a hobo. So, yeah. I wish I can see like who's participating so I can say hi to everyone. I don't know if there's a lag between us. But yes, have you guys ever been to Korea during the New Year's? If you are in Korea during the New Year time, you should never go to the central center part of Seoul. It's so boring. I once went, it was freezing cold, and it's the same thing as like, New York, when they have the New Year's Eve thing. Oh, hi! Carbon Kivesket. Greetings from Korea. Well, like I was saying, New Year's in Korea, they do this thing where they ring the bell. So I don't know how it is like in Japan or Finland, but in the center of Seoul, what they do is they have this huge bell that's from like the past, like from the Joseon dynasty. And what they do is they ring it, I think like 13 times or something. And the thing is, in the center of Seoul, fireworks are banned, so you don't see any fireworks. So all you do is you just wait for them to ring the bell and you do the whole countdown thing. So it's like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year! And then they ring the bell. That's it. The experience is very similar to when I went to New York for New Year's Eve, and you know the ball drops? It's like that same thing. It's like you have to be in front of that building to see that lame ball drop really slowly. And like fireworks are just like, coming out of the building, but you need to be in front of the building to see the fireworks. And I was on like the side part of the building to see the fireworks, so I couldn't even see the fireworks anyway. In New York, they like block out everyone from going to other stores. So you're like in the freezing cold waiting for the ball to drop, and you don't even go to like restaurants or anything. You can't go. The district in Seoul is Chonggap. So it's like center. So they have this like bell in this traditional looking like pavilion, and it's like really close to the palaces, the traditional palaces. In Korea, I think people usually celebrate it either just watching the bell thing through TV, or actually, I don't know if it's like a Korean thing, but so many people go see the sunrise for New Year's. So they usually go to beaches or up like super high mountains in Korea, and then they go to see like the sunrise for the New Year's, which is easy because you have to wake up at like 3 or something. Beach sounds super nice. I think the beaches in Korea are really different from other beaches I've been to. I think most beaches in Korea, the sand is coarser, um, and there's rarely any waves. So I think it's really hard to surf. Find like a good surfing spot. Other than I've heard there's like a good place on the East Coast. So how was your year this year? For me, I don't know if this like concept exists in. Oh, what? You've been to Hyundai Beach? Oh, that's so cool. I don't think I've ever stayed out at Hyundai Beach. I heard that Hyundai Beach is the most fun during the nighttime. So everyone like buys drinks, and then they buy a lot of anju or like side dishes to eat with their drinks, and then they just like camp out on the beaches at Hyundai. Go for next year. Go to Hyundai. I really want to travel so much more, and I need to learn to like drive properly. I do have a driver's license, but I I don't know how to park. I only know how to go forward and backwards. But then other than that, I don't know how to park, so we have a problem there. I need to get out of the car and ask someone else to park for me. So one of the things I really want to do is to drive properly and then travel around Korea a lot more and go to cities that I haven't been to. There's so many nice cities around Korea, but I know all the tourist attractions are always concentrated in Seoul. I'm gonna like snack while I talk because I miss dinner time. I have this thing called kimboga. Carbon. Oh, hey, you know how to write Korean. So this snack was super popular in Korea just because this like idol celebrity ate it like on TV. And she ate it so it looks so yummy, you know. So then everyone was buying this snack and it's kimbugak and it's basically seaweed that's fried with some rice on it. So it's like crispy seaweed with rice on it. And it's like super good, especially with drinks. Really good for ASMR. Oh, I'm hungry. It looks like this. I know maybe it doesn't look that pretty, but basically it's seaweed. And then they put some like rice kind of stuff on it and then deep fried it. So it's like super crispy. In Korea, if you live just in Seoul, you don't need a car. Just because public transportation is super good. But if you really want to go to other places other than Seoul, having a car helps. Like some of those, you know, hidden nice cities. Because elsewhere to get to other cities, I think public transportation in Korea in general is pretty good. So we have like bullet trains that can take you everywhere. But if you do want to go to those like hidden places where there's not many tourists, but there are really like good local people living there with super local food, it's so much more better to like drive around. My year this year, well, I don't know if this concept exists, but I know some of my friends in the US were also feeling it as well. But we have this thing in Korea called the concept of ahopsu. And ahopsu means the ninth. So like you're supposed to it's sort of like a curse, not a curse, but like something that where every ninth, like 19, 29, 39, 49, you're supposed to sort of like hit a rut. That's called aopsu. And I think I experienced that this year. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, you're right, Andre. So like you're supposed to have like a midlife crisis. Well, according to this ahopsu thing, which is like a every ninth thing. Yeah, it's like a life crisis every ninth because they say that some of your life's biggest choices you have to make come every ninth. Yeah, so I had sort of like a midlife kind of crisis this year because I was just looking back on life, and I think I was trying to figure out what do I really feel fulfilled doing. So I think that word fulfillment was so big in my head this year. Um, because you know like you always find fun jobs and all that, but like in the end for me I would like something to have meaning. I think I tend to put in a lot of meaning in a lot of things I do and in like people I encounter and stuff. And I really want to go a path where it is meaningful for me and fulfilling for me. I've come to the conclusion, I know all my subscribers know now. Oh, hey, hey, Arab Noura, 2:30 p.m. in Kuwait. Hi. So, yay, now I know that this time in Korea is good for Finland, Japan, and the Middle East, Kuwait. So, where was I? Oh yeah, back to the midlife crisis thing. So, in Korea, it's called ahopsu. Wait, let me write it for you guys. Ahopsu, and it happens every ninth. Anyway, so I explored a lot of different jobs. For the past 5 years, I was in Korea because I was studying and also working in the US, and then I came back to Korea 5 years ago. And I like worked at like consulting firms. I've worked at like on at broadcasting stations, on documentaries, and I think I always had a thing for like media and like delivering good messages through media. And that's when I also like picked up doing YouTube with Korean content. But after that, so I was also working as like a UX writer. So I was writing like text for cell phones. So any text that you see on your cell phone, like, when you see turn on Bluetooth, turn off Bluetooth, this app is blah, 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 and it introduces you to a new app on a cell phone. I was basically writing stuff like that and did that for a while, which I did not feel fulfillment in. Although the pay was good, man, IT and tech, they pay well. And I wish I had like I wish like I had this feeling of fulfillment in tech. Then I could have made so much money. But it didn't give me fulfillment. So I was like, damn it, I'm back to square one. Uh, you know, why am I always coming back to square one? And by this time, I felt like, shoot, I should have figured out by now what I really want to do and what I really like doing. Because, all that cliche thing about find the passion in your life, do what you want, that's always such a cliche thing, but you really want to believe in that. Like you, excuse me, like you have some kind of like calling. And I really want to believe that I had like some kind of a calling. Oh man, Andre, you feel the same thing. I guess everyone at our age sort of feels that because I realized it wasn't just me because when I talk to my friends and when I talk to other people in their late 20s and early 30s, they all seem to be having that same challenge of trying to figure out what you want to do, like figure out what your calling is per se. So that was like something that bugged me for a very long time. And now I'm starting to realize that I was actually avoiding my calling, which is ever since I was a little kid, I did a lot of acting and I did a lot of writing. So I guess I was always interested in that sort of like creative realm, in performance arts and like writing books and stuff. So when growing up, I did a lot of acting. And even in high school, I did a lot of that and went to a lot of acting competitions. And even in college, I did a little bit of that. But then I feel like when I was in college, reality sort of hit me. And, stereotypical Asian story where your parents are not for the performance arts. So I always had trouble getting the support of my parents. Um, in my early 20s, when I told them I think I really want to pursue acting, um, they were really unhappy. And I think I always avoided conflict. So when I felt like I could get the support of my family, uh, I felt like, okay, maybe this acting dream is not realistic. I would need to make a living, and I need to be financially independent. So I think I swept that dream under the rug uh, during college. So um, I actually majored in economic development, which I was also interested in as well. Well, though, like I'm super into NGO, super into economic development in third world countries. Why foreign aid is not helpful for third world countries, how first world countries are effing up third world countries, like those kind of things. I was like super into that too. So I thought, economic development was a good major, and I could go to NGOs from there. And then I felt like after college, that's where I started wondering. So, I wandered around, like I said, those consulting firms, making documentaries. I went to NGOs. And then at the back of my mind, guess what was still like in the back of my mind? So I still had that thing left that kept on recurring in my head that I really wanted to pursue acting, at least like properly for once in my life. Yeah. So then I thought that's a good point. So I felt like, okay, so maybe I should have a regular job to be financially stable and then pursue acting on the side. And then I felt like with the regular job, you know how usually regular jobs are like 9 to 6, right? And then you feel so exhausted, and all the auditions for like even student films, they're like during the weekdays. And it's like so hard to go for auditions even for student films. So then I felt like, okay, maybe since it's my last year in my 20s, I will give myself a year. I'll give myself a gap year to really pursue this. Now that I've become a little bit more financially stable, I can be a bit free from feeling that my parents have some kind of an influence over me. Just, give myself that peace of mind that, I'm not chasing it anymore and I'm doing it. But I'm still like really scared. I'm like so scared because this thing has been in my head for so long that now I'm like so scared doing it because now it's like out of the box. The idea is out of the box right in front of me. Um, but I have now like started making like audition tapes and like trying to apply for little auditions. Which one you like more acting, in Korean or English? Honestly, I feel more comfortable speaking English. I do feel more comfortable memorizing English scripts than Korean. I do consider myself a bilingual, but when it comes to like emotions, I think just in general, I feel like I'm able to describe myself so much better in English because I found out I always fight in English. So, when your emotions are like at its peak, like anger, um, I find myself switching to English. when I really need to logically explain myself why I am angry at that person during some kind of situation. So, but uh, it's going to be impossible to find in Korea English roles. So I need to persevere and act in Korean or try to make audition tapes in Korean. So I was thinking, you know what? Maybe I should also try to make a lot of YouTube videos both in Korean and English. English is such an aggressive language. No, it's not to do with that. English is not an aggressive language. Oh my, have you heard Korean? Have you heard Korean swear words? That's aggressive. um, hey, Carbon, your Korean's really good. Are you sure you're not Korean? I feel like you're like typing in Korea and you're just like saying you're from Finland. Your Korean's too good. I would be considered borderline 교포. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that term before, but it's called 교포. And 교포 just means a Korean who has lived abroad for a long time or a Korean who was born in another country. But yeah, so I was like, oh, maybe I should make some more videos just speaking in Korean so that I can also practice my Korean as well. So I'll have like English videos as well as Korean videos and see where that goes. Yeah, Jay Park. Jay Park is known as Kyopo. Like he's Kyopo all the way. I was really thinking of maybe I should go back to school for acting in the US or Canada, but it's super expensive. I'm still paying off my college debt from undergrad, so I don't think I want to go to school again and do that whole tuition paying thing. But I'm gonna start going to acting workshops from this week. So I'm gonna see how that turns out because I think it's just so much more helpful than practicing acting alone. Meet new aspiring actresses and actors and practice together. I think that's gonna be so much more helpful for me. So man, Finland! Should I go to Finland to learn acting? Oh my god, universities there are free. Like, oh my gosh, the US for international students, it's like good schools would be like $30,000 to $50,000. I think US universities are really nice like that because they tend to have really good financial aid packages, but that includes a lot of loans as well. Sometimes I feel like, damn it, my God, I'm like starting all over again from square zero. Now that I'm turning 30 and it's like square zero, like, damn it, I should have done this when I was 20. But I guess my life experiences so far doing other jobs will all connect in some way and help me out in the future. So fingers crossed for that. And you never know. Maybe 2 or 3 years from now, I might be like, hey guys, so I changed my dream again. And it's not acting anymore. I decided to open a cupcake shop. I don't know. Yeah, and everyone's been giving me a lot of good advice on like what kind of videos they want to watch. You want to hear something really sad and funny at the same time? Well, it's mostly sad, but so you know how I usually upload the Korean related videos? So I've been getting a lot of viewers and subscribers from my Korean related videos. And then so I'm like, oh man, I want to just try singing because it's so fun to do. So I uploaded a singing video and then and then 3 subscribers said bye to me. So I was like, man, was I that bad at singing? Huge numbers, -3 subscribers. So I was like, oh my God, damn it, my subscribers left me because I sang. Yeah, so my friends were like saying, Claudia, I'm pretty sure it's not because of the singing. It's because maybe your content was all over the place. Pat, pat, pat. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna sing more now. I think the fashion scene in Korea, like everything else, it's super fast changing. So, like trends, they change like that every few months. Like makeup, clothes, hairstyles, it changes super frequently. Even like restaurants too. Some restaurants, when you look up on the map, they're like gone after a few months. And some restaurants that's super trendy, they suddenly pop up, and then after a few months, they're gone again. It's too fast sometimes, though. I feel like, oh, it's really nice to have those like old restaurants there that last for a very long time. Artist's Way. Oh my gosh, yes, it's that book. And I'm doing it right now. And I'm doing those morning pages. Carbon, you should totally look into that book. That book is so cool. Like it gets you to dig deeper into yourself and figure out why sometimes you're afraid of the things that you've wanted to do, and it like helps you explore yourself because it tells you the concept of the morning pages that Andre just talked about, which is you have to make yourself every morning to write 3 pages of random stuff. And that's a way for you to get more closer to the child inside of you, which is very close to creativity. So I'm totally doing that too, Andre. Hi, friend. High five. But it's actually really hard to do every day. So I've been skipping some days, but I'm doing the tasks right now. And I think it's really helping me to realize my desire for acting and helping me realize what kind of an actor I want to be and what are some of the fears that I've had and still have. But yeah, I have like so many videos right now, like me traveling in Europe, which I thought I was going to give some travel tips about Europe trips. And then I have some on like Korean food. Um, and I have one on dyeing your hair in Korea because I didn't know how expensive it would be. So I recently bleached my hair twice and dyed it, and it was so expensive. For one video, I think I spent like 2 or 3 days on it. And I'm never really happy with how it turns out in the end. So I always have that dilemma, should I even upload this video or should I not? Because I've edited it, but it does not look fun anymore. And so yeah, that's always a dilemma I always have. The shopping malls around DDP, they seem to have good cheap stuff that are very fashionable. I also sometimes like going to those underground shopping malls. So they have these like big underground shopping malls in Gangnam, at like bus terminals and stuff. And it's like a huge area with a lot of cheap clothing. Like you can get a cardigan for $10. I love going there. The only problem is they only have one size, and sometimes it looks pretty, but you can never really wear it. So when you come back home and you wear it, it's not the same fit as how it looked like when you were buying it. So I've failed so much whenever I buy from those underground shopping malls. I hate Myeongdong. Like, I don't think I've met a Korean person who likes Myeongdong. Myeongdong has become this super touristy place where they rip you off, and a lot of the street food that they sell there, it's catered towards like tourist tastes. So they've been selling really weird stuff these days at Myeongdong streets. Like they would sell like lobster tails for $10, which is a street food price, or like they would sell eels for $15. And they call it street food, but it isn't street food. So I'm not really sure if tourists are buying that. But don't get eels on the street. They have so many good eel barbecue places at restaurants, so don't get them on the streets for such a hefty price too. Korean eel barbecue is so good. It's very different tasting. It's a very different taste from teriyaki, uni, uni teriyaki. Those are the Japanese style of eel. But it's more like Korean barbecue looking like. Oh yeah, Korea's super safe. Oh my gosh, one thing I realized. So I don't know if you know, but so I traveled in Europe for a month last month, and I heard so many horror stories about pickpocketers that I was like checking my bag every few seconds, my backpack, just to feel safe that I wasn't pickpocketed. And there were so many like travelers I met who were saying they were just walking or they were just in the subway, and someone just opened their bags and took something and closed it after they left. Like I heard those kind of stories. So I was like, oh my God, in Korea, you never have to worry about pickpocketers. So then I wondered, why why are there so many pickpocketers in Europe and not in Korea or even Japan? Like you never have to worry about your things get stolen. You know what I do? Like I often go to Starbucks to edit my videos, and you know how sometimes you need to go to the bathroom? I leave everything on the table, like my cell phone, my super expensive backup hard drive, and my laptop. I can like be gone for an hour and it's not gone. It's like still there. And I know I can't do the same thing elsewhere, even in the US. Yes. So my Europe trip video, there are supposed to be actually 15 episodes. Because you know what? One of my plan while I was in Europe was to make a video every day. And I sort of kept to it. And each day is like a new activity. And I wanted to make sort of like a seasonal video where I have 15 episodes of different things I did in Europe. We have to come back to the editing problem. I have so much footage that I don't even know where to start with the editing. So yes, an episode 2 is coming very soon. But hopefully I upload my European vlogs as well as like Korean content. So yeah, not all my subscribers are like, what happened to our Korean content? Why is she always talking about pickpocketers in Europe? So yeah. Oh, hi, Cookie Jar. Oh, thank you. That's so nice of you. I thought no one was interested in my European vlogs. So then I felt my motivation sort of flop a little bit. Hi, June. June's here too. You guys missed so much. We like talked about so many things with Carbon and Andre. We like talked about morning pages and talked about New Year's in Korea. Oh, thank you. Hi, Mort7 on. One of my old subscribers. Happy New Year to you too. Thank you. Aw, so much like I feel so warm and fuzzy right now. Thank you, guys. I hope you guys had fun during this live chat. I had fun talking to you guys about some of my deep dilemmas I've had and some of my future goals. I hope to see you guys in my other videos, and hopefully we can have another live soon. But I hope your 2019 were awesome and you guys have a amazing year ahead, and we can all come back to a live and talk about our achievements and talk about what made us happy so far. But thank you so much, you guys. I had so much fun. I will try to announce my next live in the announcements, discussions, community tab of my YouTube. Bye. Mwah, mwah, mwah.